Hello, so in today's video we're going to look at these front subframe which I've been sort of working on slowly with a wire brush and trying to work out where the rust spots are. So I just borrowed a light from my wife that she uses for knitting and doing cross stitch, so we can't really see much in here. I decided to move the van into the garage because it's very wet at the moment. It's very strange weather because we seem to get sunny spells and suddenly the heavens opened, or the heavens opened this morning more or less. But if I just try to focus in the distance there, it's not really working very well, but you can see we've got nice blue sky and grey clouds, so it's probably just as well I move the van. So yeah, it's not that much rust considering, really. I mean, it's mainly the front corners of the subframe, and the mounting for the struts is a little bit rusty. There we go. There's a little bit of rust halfway down the subframe on this side. Get out the way pipe. There we go. And the main rust, the biggest part of the rust, which we can't actually see very well, so I'm going to have to grab hold of the light in a second. I've only got two hands, so if I just shine in here, you can see that that is pretty much rusty, and I've actually attacked that with a wire brush. The same with the rest of the rust spots. It's actually been rubbed, and on this side we've got about the same. If I can just film our set there, so you can see as I've said before in another video, the cross member for the bonnet lock and the front panel is a little bit rusty at each end. So the next job is going to be cleaning up all of this, because it's mud and God knows what all over the subframe and the members holding the suspension legs through there. So those need a good clean, and I read somewhere using white vinegar with water is good. So I'm going to give that a try. So basically it's a mixture of Ajax floor cleaner and some white vinegar. So I'm going to put gloves on. Whether the white vinegar will damage the gloves or not, I don't know. But it's not very nice getting that on your fingers, because it really does start to not necessarily burn, but it tingles a little bit and it gets irritating as well. I used to use it quite a bit for cleaning stuff in the house, and I didn't wear gloves and ended up with red marks all over my knuckles for some reason. So we're going to use this on the subframe, and I'll give it a clean and we'll see what it looks like when I've done a bit. A little check to see if I've got some rust converter, and here we are. But there's not much left. In fact, not enough to do the job that I want to do. So I've got to order some more of that, and that's going to come from Carter Cash, which is a big car supplies store here in France. This is the spray which I bought from Carter Cash. If I look on the Carter Cash site, it seems I don't have this one in stock, but they've got the same make, Auto K, but the tin is a lot different, so I'm hoping it's the same one. It's the only one they have on the site, so it looks about right, I would have thought. It would help if they told you what was actually in it, because obviously on the tin they do, albeit in German. Everything seems to be in German at the moment. So €7.50 is quite reasonable, so I think I'll order a can of that. And meanwhile, while I'm waiting for that to turn up, I'll start sanding lightly the subframe, and then it'll be ready to go. We've had a fair amount of rain again. It's been quite a few days since I last did some footage. So basically the van's just sat here under the rain without the front dashboard on, and so that means that I guess it's probably showing the rust a bit more, because I cleared, you've seen previously, I cleared all the areas where it was rusting, and I've sanded everything, attacked it with a wire brush and so on. It's looking cleaner, but it means that I suppose the rust is a bit more evident, as you'll see. If we look down here, all the rust seems to be concentrated on the corners, as I said before, but it's even worse than I thought, because I've sanded it a lot more, and it's sort of like probably not obviously, but obvious to me. The water basically travels down the top of the subframe into a little sort of dip down here next to the strut, and the water gathers here, and of course you get a little bit of rust. Not as much as I thought there'd be, really. It's mainly at the end here, and then you've got some rust sort of further in on the stub axles, and right at the back there of the, if I can just focus on that, thank you, right at the back of the subframe. So if you look where my finger is there, you've got the bar coming down from inside the cab. It goes down to the subframe at the back. And after that it's aluminium, so short of jacking the van up so I can look underneath, there's not a lot I can do right at the back. And just paint as far back as I can see, really. So yeah, so it's the corners that are the brunt of the rust. It's more or less in the same places really on both sides. You know, you've got the rust there next to the strut as well. That needs to be done because obviously that's quite a weak point. So yeah, so what I'm going to do now today is to make a start on rust treating it, because it's fairly flat really. I've sanded it as much as I can really. I might give it another sand, but yeah, it's a case of putting the rust converter on today. So we're a bit further on from the last clip of video. It's a lovely sunny day today, it's gloriously sunny, but the weather's been horrible. We've had an awful lot of rain just lately, as you've probably seen in the news. We've not been as badly affected as Germany and Belgium, but it's really affected getting things done. So we're very lucky because we've not been flooded or anything like that. So it's time to crack on really. So what I plan on doing is continue to use the garage to work on the van, because I think there's some rain predicted today, but up to now none. And it looks like the grey clouds are coming, but we've got nice blue skies again. So yeah, I guess we'll try to get things done while we can anyway. So first of all, need to get into the van. And you can see we've had quite a lot of leaks again. Yeah, brilliant. So just remind you that the lever for the bonnet is above the accelerator. I'll reach underneath, up, and there we go. So I've already rust treated the rusty bits, and managed to find the same can of rust converter to do the job. So as you saw earlier on the site for Car to Cash, they were showing the wrong picture. It's still the same product, and bought last year. Also has some undercoats, so it's the same make, Auto K. So Auto K après anti-corrosion, anti-corrosion primer. It's in English as well. This time it's beige. Last time when I did the protection bars down the side there, I used a red one. I'm not really bothered what colour it is because I'm going to paint over the top anyway in Hammerite. So that's the stuff I'm going to use. I've applied the rust converter there, and I'm going to show you now the sort of result we've got. Bearing in mind that after I applied it some weeks ago, it rained. So I applied it sort of mid-afternoon, and by 9-10 o'clock we had heavy rain, and I think it might have affected the treatment. So You'll have to let me know in the comments what you think. There was a slight problem. In fact, the rust converter is supposed to turn the metal black, and it's gone a dark colour, so the rusted areas here are not black, and all this white stuff is what happened when it rained. And I think what it is the, in French we call this crépi, in English rendering. This stuff from up the top here above the door, it just come down, it's come straight down onto what I treated, and now I can't really remove it. It's not going. So anyway, everything's been treated with the stuff, and I'm hoping that if I give that a good clean, because I have to anyway to then put the undercoat on, everything will be okay with an undercoat or 2 coats of undercoat and the Hammerite. So it's time to crack on with that. So I was going to say, excuse the noisy bloke with the petrol streamer next door. He's making a noise and he just stopped as I started filming, so that's quite good then. We've had a bit of a gap because I've been doing a few domestic things, as you do, because my wife is working and I'm not. In fact, I'm hoping to start English lessons again in September, after not actually doing any, well, doing one a week since December, just before the Christmas holidays. Today I'm hoping to get the first coat of the undercoat on. But before that I need to clean the subframe. So for that, this time I'm using just watered down Ajax and no vinegar. Then after, I need to mask everything off, otherwise I get spray paint everywhere. And we'll see how we go from there, really. So I just wanted to sort of test a bit to see what it does with all these white bits all over the treated metal, which I presume is, as I said earlier, the white stuff from the rendering on the garage. Let's see how that looks. I've wiped it. No, it's not going. It looks cleaner, but yeah, I think we'll just go with that. I think. I mean, it's not rusted anymore since I've treated it, so you know it's not any worse than it was. So I think I'll just give all this a clean, which I want the video because it's a bit boring, and then we'll apply the, well, I've got the masking to do, and then we'll apply the undercoat. So it's a bit cleaner. You can see just here at the bottom here, it's less spotted with white, really. So yeah, I think that'll do, and I can start masking up now. Ta-da! Got the masking done. Looks like the Kubota engine is a big Christmas present. So there we go. Hopefully that will be enough, and I'll get on with doing some spray painting. Feeling a bit out of breath at the moment because I've been doing that very quickly. The idea is that I just do undercoat on the bits that are affected, really. I'm not going to undercoat everything that's on the subframe. I'm going to be a bit lazy, I suppose, but then I'm going to put Hammerite on top, so 2 coats of the stuff, so it should be fine, I hope. So now suitably adorned with steamed up glasses. They're COVID masks, but anything's better than nothing. I haven't got any proper masks, so that'll have to do. So yeah, that was my son just going off to the swimming pool, so I'm without kids. My daughter's off with a friend, and it feels very strange to have a house that's empty, but I can get on with some work now, can't I? That was a smile, by the way. better than nothing. After of course see if the can's okay after doing all that. Never been used, like I bought it last year. So we'll just see if it's I hate those. I think I might have broken it because I took the plastic seal off. Oh, that's okay. It's just not very good. It doesn't fix onto anything. But anyway, we'll get on with it and see how we go. Oof, smells already. We'll work away from the top and down, I think. I've got to do behind here. I have to be careful because I need to use 2 coats of this stuff, so hopefully it's going to last. Ooh, I think that's as much as I'm going to do for the first coat. Just covered the bits where I want to put it, so when I come to do the second coat I know where to actually put the stuff. Let's get rid of that. So yeah, okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you where I've put the paint because you can't really see from right back here. You can see that I'm going to have beige all down the protection bar here, but it doesn't really matter because the bodywork will go in front of it, so you won't see it. But I actually didn't want to get paint on things like wheels and on the engine. Really, it's not really a good idea. You have it on the same bits really, either side of the subframe. It seems that the same bits are rusting, so I think that I'm going to leave it there. Okay, you can see where I've put all the beige paint, and I managed to get some behind the headlamps here. You can see that very well. So a couple of wires have got sprayed. I've tried to take them out of the way, but I'll come to do another coat and then everything will be okay, I think. So hopefully it won't rain during the night, otherwise all my masking's going to go all soggy and horrible and the paint will ruin. But yeah, I think promising start now. I'm not going to film the second coat because that might be a bit boring. So we'll leave it there for now as I wipe sweat away from my eyebrows because I can't see what I'm doing. It's not actually that hot today, it's only 24 degrees, but even so, I'm finding it a bit hot. Yeah, so it's all sort of done. I'll put the second coat on, and then I have after that to sort out the soundproofing. You'll have seen the video about that already probably. Before that I need to give the subframe and everything else that I've painted 2 coats of hammerite. Hopefully I've got enough paint. So what I'll do is I'll start the painting and then start thinking about the soundproofing. I'll do that all in one video, but it won't be for a few weeks yet because I'm not going to be here. So there's going to be a slight space, delay, holiday from me probably of videos. So this is going to be the last one for a little bit. So hopefully next time we'll get to the stage where I'm doing the 2 top coats on the subframe, working out what I'm going to do with the soundproofing, which means buying something to put on top of it to make it a bit stronger. And also the small matter of the fact that down here we can't really see it because we've got bin liners and things out in the way, but behind the wheels here there's nothing at all to stop mud from flying up into the radiator or the CVT unit. So I need to think about something to put as a sort of mudguard, because there isn't a mudguard on either side of the van, and I'm sure that it wasn't designed to have mudguards, but it needs them. So I've got to work that out as well. So that's the next stages that I need to work on. So take care of yourselves. Well, thanks for putting up with my rather long-winded videos sometimes. Hopefully you've got some interest in Mega Breadvan, and hopefully we'll get a few followers. So take care of yourselves and see you in a little while. Bye.